Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm your lore bastard, Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.
Today we're continuing our adventure in the world of J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings.
It's the One Ring is the name of this.
Yeah, we're playing the One Ring RPG from Free
It
League.
is, Corey.
It's Free League, right?
Free League.
What else did we play from Free League?
So many things.
Yeah, so we've played 3 Free League games, Alien, Morkborg, and this one, of course, the One Ring.
Makes sense.
So there are a few other Free League games I want to look at. They look really cool. There's one called Forbidden Lands, which is supposed to be kind of a D&D style survival game, and Symbaroum. I don't know much about Symbaroum, but I like saying it.
Ask your doctor if Symbaroum is right for you.
May cause dead.
If your nipples become erect and hot, contact a physician. Symbaroum. And of course,
Specifically this physician.
Doctor's like, please call me with the nipple problems.
Yeah. So, we're continuing our adventure from last week. If you're just jumping into Bastard Quest, go to the previous episode. That's where we start the One Ring.
And hopefully, like Lord of the Rings, the second one is not the worst one.
Yeah. So, Todd, who are you playing in the One Ring?
Well, I'm playing Bungo Tuk Tuk. He's a hobbit, he is.
Corey?
I'm playing Ezel or Ezel. I think we said that. I'm going to go with Ezel. I like that.
Okay.
It reminds me of the crackhead from Friday. Smokey's over here taking a shit. Ezel's a ninja.
Yeah.
Or elf. Yeah.
He means elf.
Yeah, elf.
Austin?
I'm Zip Farron.
God.
I'm the adventuring dwarf looking for treasures.
Just having a grand old time, aren't you?
Yep.
So in our last adventure, our heroes were on the road searching for the Hall of Hadarion. They believe they have found it in the southern reaches of the Erdluin Mountains. They found a ruined tower on the other side of a ravine, a bandit camp below the tower at the mouth of a cave. There was a bridge, ramshackle bridge between where they are, east side of the ravine, and where the bandits and the tower are in the west.
And wasn't the tower like glowing at times and people were disappearing?
There have some travelers have disappeared. You guys followed a blue glow from a distance, and you realized it was the jewel in the crown of the long dead Lord crucified at the top of the tower.
As Bungo will tell you, the way things are going, they're going to crucify me.
Yeah, so I believe we left last adventure.
Christ, you know it ain't easy.
Bungo and Ezel, is that how we're saying it? Ezel?
Yeah.
Had snuck down the ravine, reconnoitered the bandit camp, realized there were 3 bandits in the camp, and the rest were off waylaying travelers and what have you. And you guys had, I believe, returned to your bivouac to discuss how you were going to handle the bandit problem.
Yeah, I think we've all retreated to the rocky outcropping kind of overlooking the camp and the entrance to the cave.
Right.
Yeah, and in case it's not clear, the cave is directly beneath the tower, clearly goes into some underground ruins that will take you up to the tower.
Right. Is there another opening to the cave on the other side of the mountain or anything?
Not as far as you know.
Okay. If there is such a thing in the cave world, is there like, if this is the mouth of the cave, does that mean the other end is the asshole of the cave?
Well, I believe technically it's called the sphincter.
I gotcha.
Yeah. No.
For the spelunkers out there, let us know, please, if it's called the butthole or not.
Some furious spelunkers yelling some weird word we've never heard, calling us idiots.
Ugh, stalactite heads.
How dare you? It's the bunghole.
The camera comes in from above, down through the clouds, to this impromptu meeting of our 3, I'll use the term hero, loosely, 3 heroes discussing their predicament on the side of a cliff. Nearby is the asthmatic horse, Colby.
Yes.
And the donkey that's sort of okay, named Kenny.
Just every once in a while we hear. Well, whatever we do, my little Tiny Toon friends, let's not take Colby with us if we're going to sneak up on these guys.
Look, I know we're all itching for a fight and whatnot, but I got me recorder here, and I could perhaps play them a tune, because sometimes if you get all lovey-wovey with gents, they all come around to your side and want to be friends, like.
Well, if they're guarding the mouth of this cave,
I'm sorry, Zip. He sounds like if he were alive in modern times, he sounds like a guy who would like do YouTube reviews for water parks or something.
And they're really well shot.
Yeah. Very high quality.
Zip has got talent. He just can't leave his hometown because there's no way he could transport his pelt collection to Los Angeles.
I have to be within 10 miles of my inhaler at all times.
Are you Colby?
Yeah, speaking of inhalers, you look back and Colby, the asthmatic horse, is like leaning down and he's got his inhaler in a rock so he can hit it with his hoof.
Pops it with his hoof.
Yeah. He's getting side-eyed by the donkey.
Don't worry, my asthmatic pony friend. I know of a magical item we will find for you. It is called the Breath of Huesta. It is a magical inhaler.
I think that would be just groovy.
Let's bail on this quest. Find the inhaler.
Yeah, fuck the quest. Let's get the inhaler to give to Colby.
Well, Bongo, I'm afraid of you trying to play music for these folks, because if these guys are trying to guard the mouth of this cave, I think they're probably already going to be on unfriendly terms with anybody that might approach. I've experienced this many times, exploring different mountains and running across most living things. Most living things don't like me.
All right, well, I'll leave it to you guys. You seem to have more experience in this area than I do, but
No, I say we find a way to sneak across the bridge. You guys are going to have to help me, because I always sound like a silverware drawer falling down concrete steps.
I could always toss you.
I'd be all right with that just this once.
Should we try to engage these gentlemen first, or should we just go in swords, bows, and spears a-blazing?
you know, honestly, if they're not going to enjoy a good recorder tune, I don't know how good talking will do to them.
So
I choose violence.
what I'm getting at is we don't know how many men may be coming back to this camp. We know this Herc oarsman gentleman. We have no idea of the cut of his jib.
Well, let's go over there and kill all of those guys, and then we can put the clothes on us, and maybe we can fool Herc Oarsman into thinking we're his crew.
He just see you guys got short.
So here's my thinking. I'd say we kill them. And then dress up the crime scene to look like some horrific monster came along and tore these people apart.
Yes.
And maybe scare away the other bandits that are coming later.
A giant rooster, perhaps.
I was thinking rabbit, but
I believe we should keep one of these men alive, at least for the time being, till we get information from him. And then we will murder him, quite delightfully.
okay.
You know, I'm usually all about the peace and love and whatnot, but I like this plan.
So which one we gonna keep alive?
I believe it should be the leader, Sibian, I believe his name was.
Sabian. His brother Sibian is very different.
Yeah.
So, you guys are going to attack. I assume, as Corey intimated, you're going to open with stealth missiles.
Yeah, do we have that?
If we've got those.
Wow, okay.
Well, an arrow is a missile.
I cast magic missile.
Firing from stealth.
I thought you were talking about like ICBMs.
No, you've got some tomahawks. It's on your character sheet.
Okay.
Kick ass.
So I assume you're going to try to, from the darkness, shoot arrows.
Sneak, yeah.
Yeah. So I would imagine you're probably waiting until a strategic moment, which means we would need to go ahead and get across the bridge.
Well, it's still night, right, Kyle?
It is still night. I mean, the bridge is not... I mean, does not span the Mississippi. You could easily shoot from across the bridge.
Okay. Well, are they still awake? Can we see from here?
Yeah, they're drinking cheap wine and
Okay, so they're hammered.
lying to each other.
We should get advantage on everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what is your plan? Are you going to shoot at them while they're awake? Are you going to try to sneak over, slit their throats while they're asleep?
No, they're drinking. I mean, I say that I like what Austin was saying, that Bungo and Zip should go ahead and sneak over and be close by while Ezel fires a few arrows over there and takes out who he can, and then we jump out and start poking.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll surprise them when they start trying to fire back.
Attack!
Now, mechanically, to get the benefits of surprise, you will all need to pass a stealth check.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Bungo has 3 in stealth, and he's favored.
Cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, hobbits are really good at stealth.
Zip is not.
Ezel also has a 3 in stealth. He's not favored, but
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a hope point to give myself 1 die to roll for stealth. I'm going for a 16. Ooh.
oh, what's that mean?
Well, I rolled a 1 on the D12
God damn, Austin.
and a 5 on the D6, which I think doesn't matter. I think the 1 actually counts as a 0.
It does count as a 0.
As Zip starts trying to sneak down, Ezel preemptively comes up behind him and cuts his throat. Goes shh.
Zip is making his way carefully across this rickety wooden bridge. And all of a sudden, one of the boards starts to crack. Not enough to make a sound, but enough to break all the way through. And Zip leaps and skips out of the way just as the board collapses. And when he looks back, seeing the narrow death he just escaped, he goes, "Yes!" and then claps his hand over his mouth.
So Zip was the first across. He turns around. There's 3 guys from the fire looking at him. Ezel and Bungo are still on the other side of the ravine, and we're in a fight.
Oh God, did they see all of us?
Yeah, we're in initiative.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so there's not really initiative in the One Ring. There's 2 parts to combat: the opening volleys and the close quarters rounds. And depending on the scenario, there can be a number of opening volleys, which is just ranged combat between the sides. In this case, we're going to do 1 opening volley because you guys are not super far apart. But obviously, Ezel, for one, is ready because he's an elf.
Yes.
So the PCs go first. You guys, if you have ranged weapons, you can use them. So I'll give you guys a bonus die, a bonus 1d6, since you are ready for combat. These guys really aren't, and they're perfectly outlined in the night.
Okay.
Okay, Corey, I think as the elf, you probably go first, right?
Yeah, I've got a great bow, so I'm going to shoot it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's under combat proficiencies.
It is, sir.
It's 2 dice.
And the d12.
Yeah, and you said we get an extra die, so it's 3.
Yes, because they are rather obvious targets.
And I'm going for
Whatever your strength target number is.
14. Got a 6 on the 12, total of 15.
Okay, what did you roll specifically on the dice?
My D12, I got a 6, and then I got 2 4s and a 1 on the other ones.
Okay, so you didn't roll any successes or
Wait,
any...
that one's actually a 0 then, right?
Not on the D6, no.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So you didn't roll any successes, and you didn't get any piercing blows. So you're just going to do endurance damage. Like, if you roll a 10 or the Gandalf rune, 10 or a 12, you can do a piercing blow, which inflicts wounds.
Oh, under the special damage.
Yes.
Okay, so special damage on my great bow, I have heavy blow and piercing, so...
Yeah, both of those do different things, though I don't think any of them are triggered right now.
Right. Well, I didn't get any of those numbers.
Right, you didn't get any successes. Now, what is your elven... Don't you have an elven ability, Super Wrath or something?
Yeah, I have a Gleam of Wrath, Kyle.
Cool.
Know what I'm saying? On a successful attack roll, your adversary additionally loses 1 point of hate or resolve, plus 1 point for each success icon, which is 6s, which I didn't get.
Gotcha. So hate and resolve are basically the enemy's version of hope.
Oh.
Orcs and undead will have hate. Wicked men would have resolve, and they can use it to increase their dice or to activate abilities.
The same way we use hope, basically.
That's right.
Gotcha.
I'll bet if I played a tune on my recorder, I could get rid of some hate.
He's wrong about that. But anyway, so your ability, essentially, if you hit, you knock down 1 point of their resolve or hate no matter what.
Yeah, so
right?
I did get a successful attack roll, so I am
Okay.
hitting. Okay, so the damage on my great bow is 4 and injury 16. What does that mean?
I think it means if you do a piercing blow, they have to roll against an injury. So in this case, they're just taking the endurance damage, which is 4. Now, there were 3 targets, Sabian and the other 2. Is there anyone in particular you're shooting at?
Are they lined up in a row to where I could get all three of them?
You know, funnily enough, they're not.
Oh, okay.
So Sabian, Bandit 1 or Bandit 2?
So we want to keep one alive. To me, I think we should keep Sabian alive. He's probably going to have the most info.
You think the named NPC might have the most information?
Yeah, uh-huh.
No.
Funnily enough.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm going to put this arrow inside of Sabian.
All right, so Bungo or Zip next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Bungo's gonna throw a spear.
That's better than a jaunty tune.
You know, I would like to play a tune on me recorder,
Quick,
but
throw the recorder in the river.
So, Todd, what is your spear flinging abilities?
it is a one die.
Okay, so that's a D6.
Yes.
You also get a D12,
Yes.
and you get a bonus because these guys are outlined by their firelight.
Exactly.
So 2 D6s and a D12.
Yes, and my target number in strength is 17.
Now, you were wearied by the journey last time, so
So if I roll a 1, 2, or a 3 on the on any D6, it counts for nothing.
that's right.
The big fat 0.
Yeah.
That's an 11. That's a 2. It doesn't count. Oh, rolled a 15. I did.
Oh, you just missed it by 2. Bungo hurls his spear. It goes wide. The bandits leap out of the way. It clatters down the cave mouth.
Oh, no.
Do you have another spear?
It's the only one I had. I still have me recorder, though.
Oh, well, that's what's important. Zip.
Better sharpen that motherfucker.
All right, tab for Zip.
Yes.
3 words she always wants to hear.
I just thought of a mayonnaise commercial from the 80s. Time for some Zip? Get Miracle Whip.
Some sassy old lady.
Yeah.
Where's my zip?
Austin, what do you got?
All right, so Zip's going to run the rest of the way across the bridge, firing his bow as he does in the direction of bandit number 1.
Okay. How many dice you got?
So for bows, I have 1 skill, and adding our advantage, I'm getting 1 more D6. So I'm rolling a D12 and 2 D6.
Cool.
My target number for strength is a 14. I did not hit it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
Glad I brought you, fellas.
I rolled a 7.
Wow.
Arrows going wide. Dwarven curses on the wind. The bandits panic and leap, grabbing up their own bows.
Kyle, real quick, how does movement work in this game? Like, can we move during our turn, or?
Yeah, it's handled pretty narratively. When we get into close quarters combat, we'll talk about positioning. But it's not like it's measured in feet in D&D or
Okay.
things like that.
Okay, now Kyle.
Yes.
I've run across this bridge toward the group of bandits. Mm-hmm. We have this card that assigns us each rolls when we hit close quarter range.
Yes.
Is it possible for me to take on one of those rolls before everybody else in the group, or does it not happen until everybody's here?
It doesn't happen until close quarter volleys or close quarters combat occurs. If my reading of the rules is correct, there's no positioning in the opening volleys.
Perfect, okay.
Everybody's just kind of at a distance. So what Austin's talking about is there are 4 positions in close quarters combat, which we're about to get to after the bandits shoot at you guys.
Much like we're each assigned roles during the exploration phase.
That's right. So you're gonna choose your stance basically, and 3 of them are close combat, and 1 of them is ranged. Nobody can choose the ranged one unless there's enough people in the front line, so to speak. So let's say you guys were getting attacked by 6 orcs. 1 person can only block 2, so you would all have to be kind of fighting, 6 combatants. But in this case, once we get in close combat, if the elf wanted to stand back with the bow, he could be in the rearward stance, which allows them to can only attack with and be targeted by ranged weapons. Somebody else could be forward, which gives them bonuses to close combat, or somebody could be open, which is they don't have any advantage or disadvantage. Somebody could be defensive, which gives them bonuses to parry. Essentially, you're kind of naming your position in the combat and getting various modifiers to rolls.
Gotcha.
It's basically a formula for us to always kind of think strategically when it comes to combat.
Yes. Now, for now, though, the bandits are shooting back at you with bows. First one is shooting at Austin, because he's on my right.
Well, fuck.
They're trying to hit a 14. 12, no, I only hit an 11. That's a miss. So arrows go whipping past Zip as he charges in. Sabian curses and pulls an ornate-looking bow from a horn. It's a ornate horn bow from a black case. Starts shooting at the elf. Damned knife ears! He totally whiffed.
Twaha.
His bowstring snaps. The arrow just falls limply to the ground. Final one shooting at Bungo. That's a little better. 11, 12, 13. Still a miss. More arrows. Firing past Bungo. His recorder deflects one off into the darkness. The bandits throw down their bows, grab their weapons, and rush to meet at least Zip. So now you guys will pick your combat positions. I'm assuming Zip is going to be forward since he's charging.
Yep, I'm the forward. So when you're the forward, your attacks gain an additional 1d, and all close combat attacks aimed at you also gain 1d. So just trading a little bit of danger for a little bit of advantage.
Bungo is going to take open. It's no advantage or disadvantage, but my task is to rally me comrades using Enhearten, so Bungo is just going to play his recorder and hope it inspires you other fellows to fight. He's going to play. He's going to play Eye of the Tiger.
Well, okay, since both of them are in close combat, I can do the ranged option, which is rearward, because you can only do it if there are two other adventurers in the close combat stance.
That's right.
And I'm assuming you get advantages for ranged combat?
Yeah, and enemies can't outnumber adventurers by more than two to one, so we're good on that.
Yeah, the main advantage of being rearward is you can only be targeted with ranged attacks, and you can only make ranged attacks.
Right.
Yep. Each one of us also has an assigned combat task associated with that. Mine is Intimidate Foe, which uses the skill of Awe, A-W-E.
Oh. Just look at him. He's a wee feller.
Now, Kyle, how did those come into play? Is that just an option other than attacking?
Yeah, for example, in the rearward stance, Easel could prepare a shot, so he would make a scan roll as his main action for that round. If he's successful, he gets an extra die on his next attack, plus another 1d for each success icon.
Gotcha.
So that could potentially be a lot.
Does that mean if I roll sixes, I get to roll extra dice? Is that like an exploding thing, or?
Sort of. So you would scan on, say, round 1.
Yeah.
If it's successful, then on round 2, you'd get an extra d6. If you rolled successes on that scan, any successes, any d6s, any sixes would also give you bonus dice.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you rolled if you got lucky on your scan, you could potentially have a lot more dice to roll on your second attack, which in this fight, probably not worth it. But if you were fighting something like a troll where you really want to hit it with a piercing blow.
Right.
So 2 of the bandits run up also in forward stance against Zip and Bungo. Sabian standing back with his ornate horn bow shooting ranged shots.
Bungo's combat task, being in the open position, is to enhearten his comrades. If I'm successful, what does that do? Because if it adds advantage to Ezel and Zip, then I should be the one to go first.
Yeah, so
That's a good idea.
now your combat task, you don't have to do that. You can just stab people.
Oh, but I want to.
Rally comrades when you're in open stance. You make the Enhearten roll. On a success, all members of the company fighting in forward stance gain an extra D on their attacks. If you produce a success icon, meaning a 6, then all those in open stance gain the same bonus. If you get 2 success icons, then everybody in close combat gets a bonus.
Oh.
Even yourself. Now, that is your main action, so that would substitute, like, if you're taking in heart and you're not stabbing.
I understand. I think it's very important to inspire me friends.
You're probably better at that than stabbing.
Probably.
and makes sense to do while you're still trying to reach the area of battle.
So, Todd, is Bungo going first and heartening?
Bungo's going to try to rally his comrades.
Okay.
He's going to do an inspirational speech and a little trill on the recorder.
Quick, Bungo. We need a little help from our friends.
Damn it.
All right. Well, first, let me start off by saying all you need is love.
All right.
All right, so my Enhearten is a 1. So
Okay.
that's a D6, and I roll the D12.
Are you spending any hope?
I am going to spend a hope
Okay.
to add an additional D6. My target number is 13. Oh, that's a 6.
Nice.
That's looking good.
That's a success. There's a 4 and a 6 on the old D12 over there, so that would be a total of 16, and my target number is 13.
So you got you succeeded. So you're going to give the person forward, anybody forward rather, bonus die. In this case, Zip. You did get a success you did get a success icon, meaning you rolled a 6. If there were anybody else in open, they would get a bonus. I mean, technically, Bungo is in open, but he already used his main action.
So it would be more useful if we had more people in the party who were also in the open position.
Yeah.
But for the time being, it does give me 1 extra 6. In addition to the 3d6, I already have
Killer.
for my skill with axes. So
Yes, happiness is a warm axe.
So yeah.
Made
so
fun of me when I wanted to play me recorder.
So Austin, you get a bonus die. Are you going to spend any hope?
you know what? Yeah, I am.
All right.
I've still got plenty. I'm going to give myself another d6.
Yeah.
That has me rolling a d12 and 5 d6.
Jesus.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Zip swinging his axe at Bandit 1. His target number is a 14. All right, I rolled a 10 on the d12, so that is a piercing blow.
Yeah.
I rolled a total of 25.
Ouch.
Cool. How much damage does your Matic do?
It does 7 damage.
That's
but
ridiculous.
it has heavy blow and fend off. And I also have, one of my character rewards is a keen Matic, which means it strikes a piercing blow on 9+ on that d12. So I did strike a piercing blow, which I think means they need to roll against the injury.
Yes, which is what?
18 for that Matic.
I feel like they're not going to get that, but okay.
So a Matic, you're saying that it's like a hammer axe. Is that kind of like the axe Thor gets in Avengers?
Oh.
When it's got a hammer on one side and the axe on the other side?
I would picture it more like, Kyle, what's the digging implement that they use in the army that's also got like an axe blade on the side of it?
Oh, a shovel.
Entrenching tool?
Yes.
No, I mean, a Matic would probably be way bigger than that.
Okay, so then they have to roll against that number?
Yes, so they're going to roll their protection, which is the feat die D12 plus any armor they have. And so they're going to need to roll, well, in this case, they'd have to roll a 12 and a 6 because they have armor 1. And if they don't, like if you guys failed a roll against a piercing blow, you take an injury. These guys are just mooks, so they just die.
Oh, okay.
So he has to roll a 12 and a 6. Oh, he did not. He rolled an 11 and a 5. Pretty close.
God damn.
Yeah.
Close only counts at horseshoes and hand blasters. I don't know, something lower to the regsy.
Yeah, hand blasters. Yes, that's correct.
So Zip's Matic just splits the bandit's head wide open.
Jesus.
His body flops like a puppet with its strings cut. The other guy next to him just starts screaming. And it is the elf's turn. Sabian is standing back with his bow that he's restringing. That's a target. There's also bandit number 2 engaged with Bungo.
I've named me recorder Yoko.
Oh no!
Fuck off.
I quit. I quit
gonna
the
say.
band.
The record is going to cause the group to break up.
Even though the recorder's just sitting over there reading the paper. Okay, I'm gonna go for Sibian again. What's his name?
Sabian.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go for him again. I don't want to kill him. I'm trying to incapacitate him.
Yeah, with a bow and arrow. That's how those work.
Yeah, I'm gonna. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to shoot the bow like at his knees, but I want the bow to go in through the side of his knee and come out through the other side of the other knee.
Oh, yeah.
Clamping his knees together
Yeah, I
in a ninja way.
mean, it's fine. There's no important arteries in the legs.
Well, not in the knee.
So he should be fine.
Yeah,
oh,
but-
no, yeah, your toes just, they have no blood in them.
Yeah, your femoral just
don't-
skips that area.
Yeah.
I don't care if he bleeds out. We just need info while he's still bleeding. Okay. So,
Okay, so you're shooting him with a bow and arrow. Got it.
Yeah. So I don't get the extra third dice this time. I'm just doing my normal combat proficiency of 2.
I mean, you would still get a bonus for ranged attacks because they're still with their silhouetted by the fire. Now, you don't get any other bonuses.
All right. My strength target number is a 14. Tainted good. Got a 10.
Sabian shoots back, and he rolled the Gandalf rune. It's a 12. So he hit his 14. It's a piercing blow.
Call, what does parry mean in this situation?
Good question. This is ranged combat, and normally he would be targeting your parry bonus. But since he rolled it, and yours would be doubled since you're at ranged, but since he rolled the Gandalf rune, the 12, it's an automatic hit, so it doesn't matter.
What does he know about that boy?
They're best friends.
What?
So what you need to roll is roll against a piercing blow injury. So you're going to roll your protection die. So you should have at least... How much armor do you have?
I've got 2D under my armor.
Okay, so you're going to roll the feat die, the D12, plus those 2 dice.
Okay.
You can spend hope if you want. You're trying to roll a 14 or better.
Okay, I'm not going to spend hope. I got a 14 exactly, my friend Kyle.
Oh,
nice. So you will
You
take...
fucking asshole.
So you will take 3 endurance damage, but
Oh.
you do not take an injury. Or a wound, rather.
Okay. My current endurance is 26, so I'm down to 23 endurance.
How could you possibly go on?
Ow.
And the bandit with a cudgel is coming after Bungo.
Oh, no.
He's going to spend a point of resolve to get an extra die because, good God, Bungo.
Wait, hold
That
up.
motherfucker got a recorder? Get him!
But wait, stop. I want to hold your hand.
Todd, what is your parry? What is Bungo's parry?
16.
Okay, so that's 11, 12, 13, 14. Comes in with a cudgel. Bungo managed to deflect it with his recorder. But unfortunately, it is shattered in 1,000 pieces.
Oh, no.
Falls to the ground, bursts into flame.
Oh, no.
A wind picks up, carries it over to the ravine. And there's a eagle swoops in, eats the rest of the recorder, flies out over the great ocean and craps it out.
Ezel shoots the eagle.
Did I really lose my recorder?
No.
Oh, okay.
You should. But no. Back to you guys. You can change positions if you wish.
Yeah, I'm still staying forward. Hey, come here, buddy. And Zip's going to swing at the other bandit.
The one that just tried to accost Bungo.
Yeah. Now, I don't have the advantage provided by Bungo this time. And I'm not going to spend a hope point this time. So I'm just rolling a d12 with 3 d6. Target number is a 14. All right, I rolled a 16.
Okay. How much endurance damage you do?
Maddox does damage of 7.
The guy's raising his cudgel. Come here, little halfling, and then he's decapitated as Zip comes in swinging, just batting 500.
Stay away from the littles there, buddy.
The littles.
The littles.
That's gotta be kind of racist, right?
It's a dwarf.
Oh, okay.
So shouldn't it be, gotta protect the average hot folk?
I'm just a little bit taller than him.
Yeah. So Sabian is left, backing away, looking very worried. Ezel and Bungo are up. What are you guys doing?
Ezel's gonna shoot another arrow, again trying for the fun knee thing.
Okay.
Because it's too cool not to do. Come on, has anybody ever done that in a movie?
I don't know. I
They
haven't seen all movies. Maybe it's in Spy Kids.
People should make movies of our podcast. Yes. We got some pretty cool kills. to be honest.
might be
I think
some
they say that on Critical Role.
Hey, the guy who directed the Raid movies, call us.
might be some IP issues.
Come on, Gareth. You know you want to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling the old 2d6 again. I'm going for a 13.
Ooh, that's a good looking roll.
His knees are fucked. Got 2 6s on the 6-sided dice
Oh,
and
nice.
a 9. So yeah, I definitely hit, and then the 6s make piercing and all kinds of other terrible things happen to him.
What'd you roll on the feet die?
A 9.
Yeah, okay, so you do a piercing blow.
So basically, what I'm doing in this situation, Cole, if I may describe,
Feel free.
I knock 2 arrows, and one just goes directly, as
Sure.
it does. The other one kind of scurries off, hits the cave wall, returns backwards, and comes through the
Ricochet.
other side of the knee. So it's basically like corn on the cob.
Sure.
And his knees just explode.
Yeah. So I am still trying to keep this guy alive, though.
Sure. No.
That's why I,
mean,
wait for knees, and I think those 2 6s. Come on.
You know, Leatherface was trying to keep those people alive.
Is that what he was doing?
He thought it's just going to be a little chainsaw tickle.
Oh, no.
That's what we call it down in Texas, a chainsaw tickle.
He was raised wrong.
Oh, feller, why are your guts all over the place? I'm sorry. But it's the leather mask. You just hear.
I mean, Lenny just wanted to pet the rabbits.
Well,
So I'll say Sabian is bleeding out immediately, flipping around beside the fire like a seal that just spotted a polar bear. He is not long for the world.
interrogate this man.
Zip runs over. I have 2 points of skill for awe,
Okay.
and I want to try and intimidate this man.
Oh, the murderous dwarf covered in the blood of his friends running, screaming out of the darkness with a giant hammer axe.
Okay, Ezel runs over too, and it's like the point of view of Loki in the first Avengers movie, where all the Avengers are standing over him.
Yeah. Zip drops the mattock blade dangerously close to Sabian's face
I'm Hawkeye.
and says, "Hey there, buddy," and leans down and says, "What is it y'all are guarding in there? Who's disquieted this evening?"
Bungo's just going to play a tune on his recorder to bring the temperature down a little bit. It's getting a little bit too intense.
Okay, Austin, roll your awe.
Okay. Target number is a 14 again. Ooh, I did not do great. I rolled a 13.
So instead of answering, he's just screaming because Zip was trying to be calm, but he just ran up. What are you guarding?
What'd you tell us was in that fucking cave?
Shaking him with both hands. You know, what's in the box? And the man chokes to death on his own tongue.
Wow, no, is he dead?
No!
Oh yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
Oh, well,
you guys
shit.
We're gonna get one question.
Guys, that's my
God
bad.
damn, Zip.
Hey, I got a plan, though, for when those other bandits get here.
Great.
This should be good.
You can catch more Middle-earth flies with honey than you can with a mattock.
One of those old Hobbit sayings.
Yes, I remember that. Elrond used to say that often. Yes.
All right, so are you guys thinking we're heading down into that cave?
Let's tie a string around Zip and let him go in.
Right. It's like Poltergeist.
Right?
So you guys are standing in the middle of the bandit camp. There's a fire still going. 3 dead bandit bodies around you.
I think we should hide the bodies for sure.
Well, I don't think we should hide the bodies. I think we
No,
should.
I was talking about yours, and I kill the dwarf.
I think we should deter anybody else from trying to follow us down in this cave.
Quick question. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable or get all like geezy weezy, but we got 3 perfectly good bodies here and we don't have any meat.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, wow.
Suddenly, I did not. I am not at the top of the list of the most sociopathic people in this group.
Look, I mean, I'm just
aren't the
asking.
hobbits delightful people. They're simple, you know. They just live out there and smoke weed.
Mungo, if you'll just bear with me for just a minute.
I'm just saying that we don't have enough meat for second breakfast in the morning.
Now, in case anybody's wondering, yes, you do get a shadow point for engaging in cannibalism.
Oh, yay!
That's what I figured.
Well, no, I mean, not just
Todd's
mentioning
getting ready to mark
yeah.
it down.
You don't have to mark it yet. If you actually eat them, you will.
Yeah.
So the night is quiet. What's your next step?
So after this, we're just heading into the cave, right?
I mean, that makes sense. But that's our mission.
Logical progression, but
And
yeah.
all we have as far as like a clue to what's inside is just what Sabian said about like she's disquieted tonight.
We know there is a she in there,
Yeah, there's some bird out there that, is making things all wonky.
and that bud can sing. God damn it.
All right. Well, I've got a plan for deterring the additional bandits that come to the camp because I want to make sure they don't follow us inside or do everything at least in our power to try and discourage them from it.
All right, then, Zip, what do you reckon we should do?
Y'all give me about 5 minutes and I'm going to leave a message for these bandits that are coming into the ravine here shortly.
Oh, he's going to draw something in the dirt.
Yeah, so leave a nice note.
So, with astonishing speed for someone of his size, Zip takes his mattock and starts to chop up the bodies of the bandits
Okay.
around the campsite.
Yeah,
And he strews the body parts in a chaotic fashion.
please stop screwing.
Bungo takes out his recorder and starts playing Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata.
Ezel disappears into the shadow to do elf things.
And taking a brush from his toolkit, Zip says, "Hey, you guys get a load of this." And laughing, he dabs the brush into a bloody puddle
Okay.
and begins to daub a message in the dirt next to the campfire that just says, "Stay away."
Jesus, Austin, are you working through some things right now?
I'm just glad Colby wasn't here to see this.
All right, you guys, I think that'll do it. What do you guys think? That'll keep somebody away, right?
I just want to go home.
That's a little trick I learned from some orcs I ran into at a different set of mountains one day.
I'm disquieted. And I wonder what life decisions have led me to this point.
I don't even know if there's a word in Hobbit language to describe what I've just
play
seen.
your fucking recorder, man.
So we'll
But
say,
I'm gonna come up with there's something in my head telling me this is all helter skelter.
so we'll say this is a misdeed of equivalent to deliberate cruelty. So that's 2 shadow points.
Oh, you fucking think?
That brings my total up to 3.
We don't get that right. We were not involved.
No, you guys don't.
Yeah, we're
All right,
great.
that brings Zip's total up to 3.
I mean,
Okay.
I just wanted to make some bacon. I was just,
Bongo, I would have chewed on that bacon even though I'm a vegan.
All right, well, I think that'll do it.
Oh, that'll
Yeah,
absolutely
perhaps
do it.
I
Yes.
don't
What is
know.
So we don't have to worry about anything until my shadow starts to draw
You
closer
need to
my-
worry about many things.
Honestly, after witnessing that, there's not much that I'm not worried about.
You need Galadriel in your life.
Okay, so Zip went nuts for a second.
Jesus. Zip.
All right, well, let's check out this cave. And Zip kind of adjusts his helmet on his head and just strolls in.
Okay, so you guys are descending into the cave.
Well, Zip is.
So you guys go through this cave, which it's not really so much a cave as it is a carved entryway into the side of this cliff. And as you go through, Zip notices clear dwarven signs. You go into this room, again, an underground chamber obviously made by dwarves. So you guys step into a empty room that Zip would be convinced was originally tunneled by dwarves, but it has clearly been modified since then, probably by whatever Numenorians built the tower above. Now, however, it is in disrepair, littered with debris and refuse, some recently left by the brigands. From here, the tunnel continues on the other side of the room. You can hear dripping water and the occasional gurgling sound from somewhere. So on the west wall, there's a deep niche, and there's baskets and boxes, some filled with flour and salted meats. This is probably their pantry. And as you inspect that area, you find a small cache of gold hidden behind some dry kindling and stale bread.
Dibs.
We split that.
We do.
Bungo doesn't care about the gold. He just starts grabbing the meats. And,
So if you guys take the gold, it'd be 1 treasure per player.
all right.
Okay.
So the coins are speckled with blood from across Eriador.
Probably dripping off fucking Austin.
Sorry, guys. That's my bad.
Ugh.
Clearly taken from this is the
Don't drip on me gold.
the fruit of the robberies. Taking it will garner a shadow point.
Elves do not walk in the shadows unless we're doing ninja shit. I have no need for this.
Okay.
I'm going to take it. I'm a dwarf.
You are gonna fucking turn into a goddamn ring ring.
Question. Does taking the food garner a
No.
shadow point? Okay,
No.
Bungo just takes the food. Fuck the gold.
Austin, do you want to
Attaboy.
take their shares?
Yes,
So you have 2 more and 2 more shadow points.
absolutely.
So
Also,
3
we
shares
will
of
kill
treasure.
you if you turn into a monster. I'm just going to say.
So Zip cleans out the gold in the pantry. Bungo pocketing foods. Ezel standing impatiently. But eventually you continue on your journey through this underground dungeon, passing out of this pantry chamber into a area where the ceiling is much higher, but the air is unwholesome and seems thick, stuffy, as if there is a weight gradually oppressing you. This is a wider hall. Parts of it have collapsed, so there's still remnants of dwarven pillars. And there are obviously burial sarcophagi of Numenorian vintage spread around. This chamber is also partially flooded, so everything in here feels damp and cold. There's a musty smell, like rotting sewage.
Hey, Zip. No judgment from me, of course, but maybe you don't need to do anything to those bodies over
Yes,
there.
please
let's
do not
leave them
rob
alone.
these graves.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I can't smell anything though.
Well, it smells unwholesome. It smells like an episode of Married with Children down here. Why was that the most unwholesome?
I don't know where that came
You
from.
know what? At some point in the late 80s, early 90s, Married with Children was getting all the ire of the right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As it was just like, it was the
This
sign
is
of
destroying the American family.
Yeah.
Married with Children.
a personal
Motherfucker, this is it.
Yeah, it's like it's not Kiss or Marilyn Manson.
right.
Well, Marilyn Manson turned out bad.
He did.
It turns out, yeah.
Yeah,
So there are a few points of interest. On the far end of this accursed hall, there's a open doorway leading to a stairs that goes up. There's a more ornate pair of sepulchers on one end of the hall.
What's a sepulcher?
Tomb.
Okay.
Sarcophagus.
Gotcha.
That are uninhabited, clearly intended for a high lord and lady, but there are no bodies. The water in here is about knee deep, and as you watch, as you linger, currents start to move in the water. Not from any one direction, just seemingly of their own volition.
Quick question.
Sure.
Knee deep to what? Because
There's varying sizes of knees here, yes.
That's a very good question, Bungo.
Knee deep for a normal person.
Oh,
so waist
damn,
deep
Kyle.
for
Waist deep for a hobbit.
Okay.
That'd be neck deep for a hobbit, waist deep for Austin.
Yeah. Wow.
Figures start to emerge from these ripples, ghoulish creatures with sharp teeth, clawed hands, sallow, clammy skin, clearly undead, hissing, advancing upon the party. You guys back up at the edge of the door, perhaps about to turn back, and you hear voices echoing down from above. What the hell happened here? And we'll end there.
Okay.
That sounds like our buddies showed up.
Who's buddies? I feel like we can turn them against each other. I hate to spoil next week, but
We're just gonna hide in the sepulcher.
I think more music on the recorder is needed.
quick Zip, make more messages. see if that'll work.
I don't know what the answer is, but I know it's not music, Todd.
God, Zip is going to be king of the Nazgul before this is.
The right hand of Sauron, the dread Lord Zip.
He's going to be the nose of Sauron.
No, I've not smelled anything in 10 years.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a lot of fun so far. I'm having a good time with the One Ring.
Yeah, it's
It's a little darker than I thought it might be.
Well, that's mostly
because
my
of
fault.
Austin's upset
I was gonna say
mind.
I've done nothing. I've done nothing wrong.
Kyle, thank you for trying to run a nice game.
You're welcome.
I'm having a great time.
Are you?
You know what? Those bandits were playing backgammon before you guys got here.
I mean, that's just what happens when you get in our way.
Yeah.
They would have invited you to the fire, shared their ale with you,
I don't think they would.
and tried to slit your throats when you slept.
Well, I would say this may be one of the more complicated games we've played so far, and for us, meaning the Austin, Todd, myself, being amateurs at this, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But so far, it's pretty fun. I think it's going to take another couple of sessions for us to really get a grasp.
Yeah, it's the mechanics are a bit more complicated than say a D20 game. We've played a lot of those.
Sure.
you know?
I think we've
Those
been
are great.
spoiled by D20. So
Exactly.
honestly.
It honestly makes sense that it's the same company that made Alien, because Alien was kind of complicated
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Alien was very detailed. It took everything into account.
I like this system a lot more than I liked Alien.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
You can boil everything in the One Ring down to, rolling your feet die, your D12, and you're rolling your D6s. And if you, depending on how you do at that affects several things.
Yeah.
Sure.
The
If-
thing
if-
that surprises me is that the Alien game turns out to be much more wholesome than the One Ring.
Well, my character's better.
Jesus.
I felt much better after playing Alien.
Yeah. I'm going to bring Cham back for that. Hey, buddies. How's it going?
Cham just shows up in Middle Earth.
Every now and then, Cham should just make a time traveling cameo in whatever.
He did, and I think it was G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, how's everything going?
I think he is in G.I. Joe, yeah. Well, thank you for joining us this week. We're having a lot of fun with One Ring. That's what we'll be playing again next week, and maybe a few more sessions after that. Depends on
Cool.
how this goes. This is the venture from the core One Ring book, which I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah, so you said this is probably going to be a 3-part intro.
I think so. Could go to 4 depending on how fast you guys move through the material.
Murder pile. Yeah, but if we continue to have fun with this, we may keep it going, correct?
Yeah, we may. We could go along. I've got some stuff planned, and there'll probably be something in between, but we'll see.
Well, it's a good story so far. So
Yeah, I'm really kind of
having
digging
fun.
this setup and these characters.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening. Special thanks to all our Patreon members.
God bless you.
Yes, thank you so much for sticking with us and for sticking with us as long as you have.
Yeah, and I feel like Herc Oarsman is getting ready to descend into the caverns.
Yeah.
So thank you, Herc, and everybody at Patreon.
You're all the grooviest.
In our session 0, I hope you guys enjoyed that over in the Patreon.
Yep. Cool. And thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond.
Yes, we're drinking you right now.
Yes, we are drinking a bottle of Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Available. You can get a pour of it there at Barrel and Bond. You can get it neat. They'll pour it over ice. You know, hell, they'll pour it in a shoe if that's your thing.
They'll pour it into the empty skull of Austin.
Some call it the Herc Oarsman of bars.
Yes.
It comes in pints? I'm getting one.
Can I have a pint of bourbon?
God.
I don't want. I'd like to not remember my name.
No, seriously, if you are into bourbon whatsoever, go to Barrel and Bond. You're not going to find a bigger and better selection in many places in the United States.
Yeah, it is honestly one of the largest bourbon collections in the country.
Huge private selection, lots of barrel picks that they go to the distilleries to pick themselves. It's an amazing place. Get nasty.
And an entire staff who are very knowledgeable about the entire selection.
Except for old Buckner. He's a little idiotic.
While you're there, talk to the fish man.
Yes, talk to fish.
But thanks for listening. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
Now, I'm Austin.